Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning, and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna, and this morning we're visiting with Brandon Bell. He's the Metcalfe County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning.
Now, Brandon, there has been a lot of hay harvested over the last few weeks, and something that we're always concerned about is, did we put up that hay properly?
Right. We've had some very good weather as far as making hay because it's been unseasonably dry, I guess, this year. But we can still possibly bale it or roll it too green or too moist, and that is typically what leads to hay fires. The key to preventing hay fires is putting it in that package, in that small bale, large square, or roll at the right moisture. What we want to do is, for our large packages, we want that hay to go into that bale between 15 and 18% moisture. Now, we've got a little bit more wiggle room on a conventional square bale. We can go 20 to 25% on them.
And you know, Brandon, people out there watching say, well, how exactly do I know? You know, there's old wives' tales about holding it and, you know, sniffing it and everything else, but to be 100%.
Right. I mean, feeling of it, knowing what you're doing, having a good feel for hay and years of experience, you know, that's hard to beat, hard to replace, but you can get more exact with some of the testing tools that we have. I have two types here. This is a probe type that you can use. I find this more useful actually for measuring temperature once it is in the bale. What I like, this does measure moisture, however, what I like to do is use what we call a windrow moisture meter. And you know, you can, it's too late if you start testing this stuff for moisture after it's in the row. We want to test it while it's in the windrow. So there are some specific instructions, but basically what you do is you put a certain amount of hay in this bucket and pack it to a certain level, and then just insert this in there and hit the button, and you've instantly got a reading. And you can go to several spots in the field because we know there might be what we call a hot spot or a wet spot in some areas of the field, shaded areas around the edges or whatever. So make sure that you get a good representative sample.
That. Now, Brandon, I know sometimes weather doesn't cooperate, or our tedder breaks down, or something happens, and we get that hay up a little too high on the moisture side.
Right.
Is there anything that can be done at that time?
Well, we need to constantly monitor it. Ideally, if we get it up and it's way too wet for dry hay, we can make baleage out of it. But let's say that we're too wet for dry hay and we're too dry for baleage. We need to leave it setting out. We need to let it get plenty of air movement around it, leave plenty of room in between rolls or in between bales, and monitor it. Now, this probe is more for square bales. They make longer probes for the larger packages, but this is a very handy tool. We loan them out at the extension office. They're not that expensive. I think every person that produces hay probably should have one, so you can constantly monitor that hay.
Yeah, because we have a lot of hay barns that have been built across the state of Kentucky through ag development funds, and the last thing we want to do is lose our entire hay crop and the barn. Right,
and I have seen hay fires, and it's hard to understand how devastating it can be until you see one. We have a publication here that I have in front of me. The University of Tennessee put this publication out, actually, to inform Tennessee farmers and firefighters about hay fires, how to prevent them and how to control them. And this is a very, very good publication. It's probably the best one I've seen. It talks about different temperatures, danger levels, and what to do when you get at those temperatures. You know, if we see stuff around 130 degrees, we're going to lose some feed value, but we probably don't have fire yet. If we get it to about 150, we know it's probably going to get even hotter. If we get to 175, we know that fire is imminent. And once we get to 200 or above, we've got fire present. So.
And a lot of times when these start, it's almost too late.
Right.
Everything kind of engulfs in flames before we can, and the worst thing to do is to start moving it out.
If you sense that you've got fire, you need to have a fire truck, a tanker truck loaded with water sitting there, ready to start injecting water in that before you start to move it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for the information, Brandon. Good to kind of keep that on our mind as we go throughout this hay harvest season. If you have questions about anything that Brandon talked about today, make sure to contact your local extension office, and we'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.